Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your landscape design. So, something unheard of happened today. We were able to design your outdoor space in the same day as our visit. Our design intern had an open space and he went ahead and knocked out building the space. And I got home a little bit early, so I went ahead and while I was here, just dropped in the plants and shade structure and everything. So, let me start with the shade structure. The shade structure is cedar. We certainly can paint the cedar shade structure to be the color of the house. If we get it pre-stained, it's a little more cost effective, but it's a brownish color. We can put a synthetic glass on top called Polygal. Polygal comes in two flavors. One flavor is 100% will guarantee to keep you dry, and the other flavor is it'll most likely keep you dry. The difference between the two is the one that will keep you dry is just like a metal roof that has raised seams. The other one just has joints that come together that water can kind of sneak its way through. There is a significant cost difference, so as long as you don't mind dodging a little bit of water underneath there every now and then, it just kind of slips through the seam, you're fine. Put a couple fans in here. We can put lights in here. We can put string lights in here. Like I can have string lights go to the garage with it. We can put some nice surface mount lights in there, color changing lights, and of course ceiling fans, light switches, and all the heaters, the whole 9 yards. We can get as crazy as you want to get. So if you look, the couch fits nicely here. Two couches and two coffee tables that could be used as sitting stools. End table. This would be a general. This would be like your family area. You could also eat in this area. The dining room table does fit best in this area. You really can't flip them. The dining room table is kind of stuck right here. If I recall correctly, you're a family of five, so you're kind of stuck with at least a six-seater table or a really big round five-seater table. I would go with the rectangle table because it's a little skinnier and fits the space better. Added these couple of chairs here just for a little lounge area so you could sit in the yard, so people could watch people as they play in the yard. I didn't put any furniture on the side of the property here, but you certainly can add that. Okay, let me come from this direction. So I had this set up so for May 16th at noon. So just from a sun perspective, so let me just change the clock here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go to 4. So 4 does cast quite the shadow. As you can see, here's the shade structure. Goes all the way across. You can see how far over it casts a shadow. And of course the house casts a real nice shadow on this space over here. And the garage casts a pretty good shadow here. So I don't think taking that tree out in the middle really impact long term if you get a shade structure. In the interim, if you don't do the shade structure now, you certainly could do a nice big umbrella on this table, or you could put the table over here temporarily, do a nice big umbrella, and that'll solve some of your problems. All right, moving on from the shade structure, let me go to the landscape. I know there's a tree right here, there's a shade tree, and there's a magnolia tree. I wanted you to see it with kind of the way that I probably would do it if this was my house. I'm very linear in how I like my trees for shade or for growth. If we keep this shade tree right here, it's going to overshadow and cause anything we put here that we want to get tall to stunt their growth, and these two trees will get a little bit taller. In fact, if we did that, this tree right here would be the tallest. The magnolia that's crammed in this corner is pretty tight fit. So I'd probably go with these Eagleston hollies. And then what I did underneath it is I did almost like a French country theme where we have a pattern, we're repeating the pattern. So we got salvias and salvias. Rose cricabilias, giant liripe, daylily, a yopon hollies, and some hostas hidden underneath there. I was going to do hydrangeas here, but if we take this tree out and this tree out, this space will get a little bit more sun. So I did a canyon crickabilia. We could do dwarf roses here or something like that. Then we certainly could put that trellis up here along the building if you want something pretty like bougainvillea, crossvine, or something similar to that. Okay, come this direction and see it from above. All right, side of the house, simple gravel. We have your sump pump here. We would do a steel edge border. Keep this gravel, so if you ever swap your air conditioners out and you have to go a little bit bigger with the concrete pad, it's no issue with that. There's a company that makes a hide screen. They're a little expensive. I think it's like $1,000, but it's aluminum black screen we can put here to actually hide this space. Or you just roll the dice and not worry about it. You know, in the reality of a backyard, there's going to be stuff that's not going to be pretty, like air conditioners and sump pump lids. So is it that big a deal? That's just something you have to make a decision on. Very little in this space over here. All I did was some gravel and some lights. It doesn't sound like this space is going to be a big space. It's going to be utilized. So what I would probably do is spend a little on it as possible in the beginning, then determine how you're going to use the space, then invest in how you add furniture and plants and pots, etc. on that space right there. So for me, for my money, I think I would spend the extra effort back here, maybe get a little bit larger trees, things like that. Again, the turf space we talked about, this is Ultimate Natural Turf. This is a great turf. It's our max drainage turf. 1.5 inches tall, 80 ounces, which is just a great turf for this particular application. Last thing I'm going to talk about is lights. All right, what is an outdoor space without lights? You got to have it. So along the trees, they're brighter than this. The lights we sell are an LED, RGBW light. All that's a fancy term meaning they color change. You take your remote control up to the light, you hit a button, they change. So we have some people coming in from Switzerland. So my lights right now are red and white, red and white, red and white. Just you can do red, white, and blue for 4th of July or any colors for specific holidays you want to. All blue for a boy's birthday, all pink for a girl's birthday, etc. So it's kind of neat. Then I did a couple over here for general illumination. And these same lights we'll automatically include in the front design. We always do it so you can have lights in front and back. Let me go to the daytime, go to an elevated view, then pause there. There we go. Next steps, just take a look at this, provide feedback. We can do a Zoom call to make some quick changes. If you want to add that tree back, which I probably wouldn't, we certainly can do that, and I can redo the design. Just know if I add that tree back and add that magnolia back, we won't get that even distribution of height amongst these trees for privacy. So we'd have to go with something completely different that's not as tall. So it would definitely throw off the symmetry. So that's why I end up ultimately removing those. All right, I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions, just let us know. I appreciate your time. If you're a first-time guest checking out this video, you can check out our website at crimsonlandscape.com.